a lot of chatter this week, obviously, about the election and things that are going to impact the market. We've talked a lot about interest rates and low down payment mortgages on the show, and I noticed an article this week that talks about how Fannie and Freddie plan to streamline underwriting. I think that's probably another sign of the health of our real estate market. If they want to, it's almost like they want to process things quicker, smoother, easier, because they have a lot less concerns about mortgages going bad or the real estate market in general, because if they miss something through streamlining and not having as many eyes on it, there's less concerns about it.
Yeah, what people don't realize is that Fannie and Freddie, they're both conventional mortgages, and they make up probably 85% of the conventional mortgages out there. But they've, for the longest time, have their unique differences, and in certain ways that that does give you a little bit more options. If you have this situation, you're going to have to go Fannie Mae. If you have this situation, you have to go Freddie Mac. For the majority of buyers, it doesn't really matter. So it looks like they're just trying to streamline that a little bit and make the process a little bit smoother for the customer, which is always welcome news in our industry.
And I think the interesting thing about when you talk about underwriting changes to quicken the pace or to smooth things out or to streamline them, if we were talking several years ago, that's the last thing they were doing. They were scrutinizing, they were slowing things down, they wanted to be more cautious. So when you see these mortgage giants wanting to streamline things, it's obviously points towards a healthier, better real estate market and a lot of great things going on. And I think there's less scrutinizing about certain things. I mean, I know that a couple of years ago, there were more challenges getting loans closed based on certain criteria, and there's a lot of that that's loosened up, and I think will continue to.
Yeah, and don't get the wrong idea out there, Mr. Buyer.
Yeah, exactly. You still have to have income. You have to have a job.
Let me slow down the realtor side of this thing, and when you get into the nitty gritty, definitely documentation needs are still going to be there, and they're going to be there for quite some time. I mean, if you really think about it, I mean, 10 years ago, 2004, 2005. Anybody, as we said, could get a mortgage.
Yeah, you needed a pulse.
You needed a pulse, and that was basically it. And sometimes maybe not even that. But that obviously tightened up a lot. And yes, there has been a little bit of loosening. But if it was a 10 as far as easiness before, we probably went all the way down to a 1. Now we're probably 2.5, 3.
Yeah.
So it is easier than a couple years ago, but nowhere near.
The self-employed business owner used to be like the scarlet letter of death, and now you guys are helping plenty of self-employed business owner borrowers qualify. Yeah, you gotta have tax returns and documentation and all that, but it's a lot better, no question.
Self-employed definitely has taken the biggest hit, as I'm sure a lot of people listening to the show, a lot of them are self-employed. And they know they've taken definitely the biggest hit as far as needing to provide more documentation. But yes, there's definitely conversations to be had about the taxes and it's just after the net, after your write-offs, what are you showing there on your tax returns?